Rick talking about titties and shit. Just remember, titties. Okay? Titties.
Fuck. Oh shit, I gotta put this shit up here. Let's do it. Just gonna fall. But I got wide angle. I see everything.
Vegas mode.
I know how to do it, man. I don't know how to do that shit. Vegas mode. Turn that shit on.
Remember? Yeah.
It's like you have to press the setup.
So there you go. Test.
Yeah!
Yes!
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, production.
Looks crispy in the dark. Damn! Keep snapping pictures and shit. Here, take that shit and give it to me. I'll sneak up in here.
We got a producer in here. Damn, a producer in here.
I'm gone for 2 minutes.
Structure right there. Oh shit. I don't know how to get out of it. Oh shit.
System reset.
Fucking plastic fool.
Well, that's no use. If you can get into it, you can get out. That's pretty bad.
That was gonna be the classic fucking footage.
Create a template. And this is how to make an autoplay DVD. So say for instance, you take a DVD and you put it in your player and hit the close. As soon as it loads that DVD, it starts playing the song or the audio right away. You don't have to press any keys or anything. So in order to do that, first of all, you select the menu tab here. Over here to your palette window. And we'll select this generic palette here. Here, whatever you have selected here, your options for that individual tab are dictated in this window here. So if I choose this disk, I'm able to choose the disk name, write the name. So I'm dealing with the menu tab because this is the function of that button or what's going to happen. So I go down here and select the menu tab here under the menu window, and this is where you load the AC3 file. Now even if I have
Tito.
the voiceover, it's still going to be empty. It's going to be really weird hearing that dry, clean sound compared to his source sound, right? So what you need to do is create the room tone to be constant. So when he's not speaking, the room is still present as if he's there. Typically the location sound mixer would record 30 seconds of room tone for each location they shoot in, but that doesn't always happen. In this case, it didn't happen. So I had to find an area earlier in the scene that I could grab and use. So let's take a look at this. What do we have? So you try to find a region that there's no nothing going on in the background. No dialogue, no movement, it's just the air sound. And this is that sounds pretty clean. I mean, it sounds like crap. I mean, you use noise reduction on that before you actually move that over. I don't have the plugins here that I can actually show you how to do that. You can actually remove that noise. You can remove the 50 or 60 cycle hum that's going on in the background. You can actually isolate that noise and use a plugin and remove it from that entire region. So now you have a clean background, just dialogue and just sort of that room tone. But in this case, we're just going to use this sound. It sounds like crap, but so what you do is actually you capture this region. So you copy, fly it over here, go to another track that you use, paste. Now the first thing you do is duplicate this track to that region. So Apple D. Now you go to Audio Suite, go to Other, you go to Reverse, and Processing.
why would you want to reverse it?
Well, listen to you. When you play this back in a loop, it should sound natural. What if I, alright, so what if I did this? I just duplicate it and see what it sounds like. Sounds uneven, right? Because it starts over again. So it repeats, it's like do. So what do you want to create? You want to create sort of like a sine wave. So you want to create shh. That's why you reverse it, right? Because you reverse it, then it creates like if it starts up, then it goes down, then you start down, then you go back up again. Right. So you do that. So after you create those two regions here, what do?
Duplicate those.
You duplicate those. You grab that, duplicate that. So now we'll play this. Was that a little transient in the beginning? We can actually change that. So we'll consolidate that real quick, and we can call it room tone, whatever. So now we move that over, and get rid of this. So now we just create a fade. Actually, I'll two frame this. Adequate. Now when we play this back, it should sound smooth, right? Like nothing's missing.
Yeah.
Right? So from that first region to the second one, it's smooth. No, it's like he's like having phone sex or something.
It's like a fucking sound clip taken out of porno.
So that's how you create those gaps, and you'll find that you can't leave any gaps in dialogue when you're dealing with post. So this is how you fill in those gaps. Hopefully they recorded some room tone. 30 seconds is more than enough that you need for most of these gaps. So say like the actor flubbed a line, or they love his performance, but he sort of like it was really, really low, and you can't get it, so they'll actually do ADR. So you need to replace that section of ADR, or the source material with the ADR. So you have to fly in the room tone, then you put in the new bit of ADR, then you have to blend in some reverb, or some tone that'll match the sound of the room to make that sound like it's in a spot, like it's sort of fluid. Then when you create, you throw in your music track and your ambience tracks, it sort of covers that up so you don't hear those gaps. There should be a gap, so when you look at the session. So if you have this, so this is what it starts off with. This is just all dialogue right here, right? So when we open up the, after you do all your edits and you start doing your mix, you get hopefully this pristine, gapless session. Anytime. Here's this phone conversation.
Yes, sir, this is Roger Floyd, director of player personnel for the Chargers. You booked one of our players on a DUI.
And resisting arrest.
Let me cut to the chase then. Look, what does that take to get him released? Tonight?
A judge.
Saturday. Is a judge really going to be in on a Saturday?
No, not till Monday.
Isn't there a way around this?
Yeah. Don't drink and drive, and don't resist officers. I gotta go.
What do you mean there's no judge till Monday, man? I can't miss the game.
So who's the sore thumb?
Oh, him? No idea. Won't give us a name. Like that.
So
It's fucking funny too.
yeah. So that's how you fill in those gaps. You can see on the edit window. Here. this is that entire, well, this is that second part of that scene. So you see that there's no gaps between all that. There's filled. So there's a crossfade in between each section. There's no gap. Even though there's a gap there, there's something going on here. So it's constantly going through. So as you scroll through, there's no gap. No gap anyway. That was it there. And here's a room tone for that area. Cool?